Alright, guys. Before I start, I just like to say a couple of things. Number one, I'm gonna, I don't know if I've said this already, but I'm gonna be doing rants like this way from now on. I don't know if I'm gonna be using Plotagon anymore because, or even Go Animate, because I know a lot of people prefer, for us to actually talk in our rants rather than using a text-to-speech thing, People take you more seriously, plus there's more emotion involved. You can't really have that with, a text-to-speech thing. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing it this way. I don't want to be doing it, talking to a camera because, like I said, I'm not very good with that. I think it will be a lot better for me to just record my phone screen and talk, because making eye contact, talking to a camera, basically talking to yourself through a camera, that's something I've always struggled with. Plus, I struggle with eye contact, So I think this will be a good way to. This will be a good way to do my rant from now on. I'm probably gonna be making my long road trips rant and my rants about good YouTube videos getting deleted and whatnot, because I want to have actual versions of me ranting about them rather than just Plotagon, so I'll be remaking those as well. And number 3, I'm probably gonna start by doing live streams again soon. I don't know when I'm gonna do my next live stream, but I do want to start again soon, especially because my dad's ordered me something that will be useful for live streams. I expect, this is a while from now, but I especially want to do a live stream when the year ends, I did, when 2020 ended and when 2021 ended. Plus, it'll just be a good way. It'll be a good thing to do to talk to you guys and to kill time. So I do want to get back into doing that. So yeah, just some updates before I start with the video. Anyway, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be doing a rant about when time flies, when time flies when we're having fun, but it drags ass when we're bored. And just time going by fast in general, I hate that. I hate it when time flies when we're having fun and when it drags ass when we're bored. It should be the other way around. I wish, and just in general, too, I wish time wouldn't go by so fast. I'm already 24 years old. As some of you know, I turned 24 this year on June 9th. So, a couple of months, or not months, weeks ago, pretty much, is when I turned 24, and I just can't believe it. I can't believe I'm already 20 fucking 4 years old. I'm already at the point in my life where I wish I was younger, Sometimes I wish I was younger. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily I'm not insecure about my age. I just I just wish I was still, like, sometimes I just wish I was still a teenager or a child, at least a teenager. And yeah, plus, like, 24 is young. 24 is still young. Plus, I act and look younger than I am, so, especially in my case, I'm still extremely young, but that's not always going to be the case. Before I know it, I'm going to be in my 30s, then I'm going to be in my 40s, because that's just how fast time flies. Like, it gets away from you. Like, you're in your 20s one day, the next thing you know, you're already in your 30s. Like, that... That's basically how time feels when you get to be my age. And something else that, like, this isn't, like, actually the case, Time flies by just about the same, like, as it always has. But as you get older, time goes by even faster and faster and faster and faster. When you're a child, time goes by so slow. Then as you get to be a teenager, then you start to realize, like, man, I'm growing up fast. Then you get even older and older, and time just seems to go by faster and faster. Like, I remember, like, back in 2018, June 2018, when I turned 20, I remember when I first entered my 20s. It doesn't seem like too long ago. Now I'm already 24. If time continues to go by this fast, pretty soon we're all going to be a bunch of old people. Not that there's anything wrong with old people. No offense to any of the elderly watching, but, like, you want to be young forever, right? You want to be young forever. You don't want to... You want to keep your hair, you want smooth skin, you just want to be young forever. Plus, another thing about, about aging in general, like, time flying by and aging is, like, once you get to be a certain age, your immune system is kind of slows down, so you have to be more careful about what you eat and, like, when it comes to, like, diseases and whatnot. Because once your immune system gets more weak, you're more vulnerable to, like, certain sicknesses and diseases. And even, like, getting cancer, like, that, you're at a higher risk for cancer once you get to a certain age. I just wish time would slow down, A part of me wishes I was still a teenager, and I wish I could be a teenager, or at least, like, maybe 18 or 21 at the oldest, forever. Because, like, you have certain age restrictions there's certain age restrictions. Like, I don't know if I want to be 21, though. I don't know. I don't know what my ideal age would be. I know if you're 21, 21's the legal age for drinking alcohol, but I don't care to drink. I just like to drink soda. I don't give two shits for drinking alcohol. But there might be some other things that you have to be 21 for. So, I don't know. 21 may be my ideal age that I would want to stay forever. That would be awesome. Once you get to a certain age, you just stop aging. Now, I don't know if I'd want to live forever, I don't know if I would want to go that far to say I want to live forever, but I would love to just, once I turn 21, stop aging, and then, like, for 80 or so more years, then 80 or so more years, then I die. I think that's the ideal aging system for humans. But yeah, like some examples of when time flying is when like other than in general, but like just during specific times, like when you're enjoying yourself, you know, maybe when you're, I don't know, maybe you're watching a movie or show that you enjoy. Maybe you're playing a video game, I don't know. Or even like if you're still in school, like you're in a fun class that you enjoy. You know, those are examples of when time flies. Or even when you're asleep, you know, when, like, you know, people usually sleep for 8 to 10 hours. Unless they're, like, having sleep troubles or whatever. But, like, it's 8 to 10 hours, but it only feels like a few minutes. It's even worse, like, you know, back when I was in school, I graduated 2016, but it was even worse back when I was in school. I would hate having to get up, because, like, I would only be asleep for what felt like a couple of minutes. Then it would already be time to get up for school, and I hated it. Like, I'm all comfy and cozy in my bed. Then all of a sudden, Shauna, wake up. You have to go to school. Ugh. Waking up for school was a nightmare. And there'd be some times where I would actually kind of like it when this happens. Like, you know how sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, like, for example, 3 a.m., like on a school night. And then you're like, yes, I still have a few hours. Because when you first wake up in the middle of the night, you're not like, you're still sleepy sometimes. So it would just feel good to just go back to sleep. You know, that felt good, but what sucked was it would only feel like a millisecond. Then it would already be 6 a.m. and having to get up for school. Like, I hated that. As a child and a teenager. And then, like, examples of time going by slow is if you're just, like, bored. Or if you're, like, in a class that you don't want to be in. You know, I always hated that. Like, back when I was in school and I was in one of my least favorite classes, like, I would literally look at the clock every 30 seconds. Just waiting for the class to be dismissed. But it would take forever. You know something? Why can't it be the other way around? Why can't time fly by when you're bored and go by slow when you're having fun? Why can't it be like that? Why does time have to seem like shorter when you're having fun, but take forever when you're bored? Like, that's just not fair. I wish it was the other way around. Anyway, yeah. I don't know I don't know what else to say, really. Just kind of a brief rant about time flying by. I think I've pretty much said everything. But yeah. Point is, I wish time would just go by slower in general, and time would fly when we're bored and go by slow when we're having fun. It's just not fair the way time works. I may make a separate video about aging, but that can definitely be connected to time flying by. Because the faster the time flies, the faster you age. Luckily, I heard Aldi Gray, or whatever his name is trying to is working on a cure for aging. He tested it on fruit flies and they live twice as long. So hopefully that will be out soon. Because I want to stay young forever, or for at least a longer time. Another thing about time flying by is it doesn't take as long to lose family members, The more time flies, the more people age and pass away, so you have to deal with, it seems like you have to deal with that a lot more when time flies. Another thing I wish was possible is when for time to how time seems like it goes by faster and faster as you get older? I wish it was the other way around. I wish it would go by slower and slower. Because when you're a little kid, you don't... There's not as much in life going for you than when you get to be a teenager and an adult, I wish time would fly by when we're children, and then it slows the hell down as we get to be a teenager. Why does time have to go by faster and faster when we get older? Does time want us to die? I think time just wants everyone to die or something. I don't know. But yeah, just a little rant on time flying by. I made a rant like this on my old channel. It was back in 2020 and we're already in 2022. So yeah, I just can't believe it. I can't believe I'm already 24 years old. I'm going to be 30 before I know it, then 40, then 50, then 60, then 70, then 80, then 90, and before I know it, I'm probably going to die already. That's how fast time flies. I hate how people always say, let's say you're worrying about something ending. I was actually, an incident like this actually happened to me before. I was upset about something about to end. This was my team leadership class. I remember. Alright, so, school years have 2 semesters, right? There's the first semester, which lasts from, August to January for most people. And then, the second semester lasts from January to June for a lot of people. And, it's 18 weeks. Each school year has about 36 weeks and 18 weeks per semester, and 2.5 weeks had already passed. So I went up to my teen leadership teacher, Miss Marley, and I was like, oh no, it's already been 2.5 weeks. We only have 15.5 weeks of this class left. And she was like, that's a lot of time. And it turned out to be no, that wasn't a lot of time. Miss Marley, if you're watching this, I love you, but that 15.5 weeks was not a lot of time at all. I know what you're probably thinking. Shauna, that was only 2 weeks had only passed and you still had a lot of time left. Only a small percentage of that class had already passed. You still had that was only a little bit of the semester that was done and over with. I mean, I get that, but still, it doesn't matter what percentage of the class is already over. It matters about how long and how, it matters about what you have left and, like, how fast it goes by. And it went by very fast. And then I remember a similar incident. All right, I was 8 years old. 8. And I remember having to get shots when I was 12. It was, which I did, but the shot I was worried about specifically was the tetanus shot. I did have to get 5 shots when I was 12, but I don't know if the tetanus shot was one of them. Anyway, I remember talking to my mom about it, and then she was like, you still have 4 years left. Because I was 8, and 8 plus 4 equals 12. So yeah, I mean, I get it. 4 years seems like a long time, especially when you're 8 years old. Because when you're 8 years old, time still goes by a little bit slow. It goes by faster than, when you're a kindergartner, but it's not quite at the stage where you realize, oh wow, time flies by really, really fast. So I get it. I was only 8 years old, and that was still 4 years. And there was still 4 years left. But still, it still went by pretty fast. 12. Those 4 years went by very fast, and look at me now. I'm double that age. I'm 24 now. So yeah, I just don't get it. Like, why do adults do that? Why do adults say stuff like, so and so is still a long time. Oh, you still have so and so amount of time before you have to do this. Like, come on. I mean, if it's like a younger person, like, doing it, like, that's more understandable because they don't quite understand how fast time flies by yet, They're still at that age where they haven't realized how fast time flies by yet. But these are people who are older than me, like my Miss Marley, which I also had her for English. And then, like, my mom, like, they're older than me, like, which is what doesn't make sense. Like, you'd think they'd be more understanding and sympathetic about time flying by. But nope. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. How fast does time fly for you guys? Anyway, boy.